And so I lost my trust for a lot of women until recently. I never had a lot of close female friends. And even the ones I did, I kept them somewhat at arm's length. I kind of kept everyone at arm's length. But boys were always a little safer for me. I could just like kind of just be goofy and make jokes and stuff, and I didn't necessarily have to like do a lot of intimacy or anything, especially with high school boys.
Flipping through the pages of my old journals, with every turn another memory, and dusty words bring pictures to my mind. I see the marks of the passage of time.
Well, hello there. I'm getting my coffee. I'm getting my coffee. Today I have this mug. It says follow your dreams, and then on the other side it says today your life holds for you endless possibilities. Keep sight always of what is important, and all of your dreams will come true. And I got this when I graduated. I got a mug like this when I graduated college from a friend, and I liked it because years later I would meet the man that I would eventually marry and then divorce. Who he looked like that kid. He was like dark hair with a little thing, and I always said that looks like my friend Bill. And even like before he came back into my life, I'm like, that's funny. My ex, being the crazy guy that he was, got mad one day at me because he did that and grabbed this mug that he was using and threw it against the wall, and it shattered, and it was heartbreaking because it was a mug that had meant so much to me and I got from college, and I had it all that time. Then years after I got rid of him, and a year into my relationship that I'm with now, with this partner, my nesting partner, the one I live with, we were at the hospital for some reason, and I showed him that there was a mug like this, and he bought it for me. And this one's better because these are the old one, they were just flat. Now they're bumpy. So I'm wearing two things. So this is from my nesting partner, and then my other partner, the one that came back into my life a few years ago, made this. He made it for a bunch of people. He was going around giving homeless people, making hats for them, and then he made one for his friends, and he gave one to me, and I really like it. It's nice and warm. It's perfect for, kind of rainy days, going on dog walks. I really like it. It looks good on me too. It's a good color. So I got it covered. This polyamorous girl has got her partner gifts covered. 1 and 2. Okay. So today it's episode 19 of Journaling Through the Years, and we are still having a whale of a time. See? The whale of a time. I am so bad at dimensions. I was blind in my left eye until I was like 7 years old, and then they started fixing it and it got better, but I often think about, and I wear glasses now. You can see the left eye, whichever is the left eye, is a little bit more magnified, and my right eye is now like slightly nearsighted. I have amblyopia, but it's not terrible. But I think about the time from before it was discovered, was like, that was early child. Your brain is developing, and my brain was developing with basically only one eye. So the dimension, even to this day, like I can't, even glasses are helping now. Like I can see without them. I can drive, I can read, I do all that. I don't need it for that. What I wear them for is depth perception. So I don't just randomly run into a wall or trip over something because I don't see it on my left side, or I don't contemplate that it's there. I'm not using my left eye. My vision is 20/25, so I am, but it's my left side is the weaker side. So that's been strengthening it. So my depth of things, like I'll think that I'm like doing, like bringing this forward, but I'm actually bringing it back. I don't know. It's weird. So a whale of a time. Here's the first one. It's like a nice little prose. I'm guessing it's about something in relation to camp. There is a lot of like camp references. Like this was a huge, must have been like the fall. What was it? Did we decide it was like junior year after I'd gone to camp in that summer? And so it must have been early fall. And I was just like, camp. novel about how we're all in our 20s rollerblading. Okay, anyways, moving right on. I also think it's interesting to go back to that story. Around sophomore year, I had an incident with someone who I thought was my best friend, female, and boyfriend broke up with me, and within an hour they were dating. And so I lost my trust for a lot of women until recently. I never had a lot of close female friends, and even the ones I did, I kept them somewhat at arm's length. I kind of kept everyone at arm's length, but boys were always a little safer for me. I could just like kind of just be goofy and make jokes and stuff, and I didn't necessarily have to like do a lot of intimacy or anything, especially with high school boys. So it's interesting that the story I was writing was about two male friends that I knew from camp, one that I was like crushing on as a youngster. You know, whatever. So here we go. Let's see what happens in this one. We sit in a circle, candles lighting up our surroundings. Light mixes with the love in our eyes. Oh, that's sweet. That's a good line. Light mixes with the love in our eyes, and both shine through brilliantly. The glow sets off our pale faces. We don't go, what are we, vampires? We move closer together to feel the warmth. Ooh, what is happening? Shh, hold still. Do not speak a word. It's like, shh, shh, shut up. Shh. I do not want to spoil this moment. Shh, don't talk. If you talk, it spoils the moment. Hoping it shall stay a while, but then it breaks apart. Aw, I'm here for you, although you cannot see. The candle has been snuffed, and we are left alone in the cold, desolate, empty darkness. I mean, high school in a small town was not cold, desolate, empty darkness, but I think the message here is without a good friend, you can feel lonely and lost. And then the deeper level is that I was looking for another person to make me feel good about myself. But I think also there is a sense of having a good friend and not having that connection with them. And this was before social media, cell phones, texting. You really had to like call someone on the phone, and if they were like a couple cities over, it was long distance and it would cost a little extra, or you could write them a letter and like send it in the mail. I still do that, but that was like the only two things you had. And I think email was just becoming a thing, and then there was like, maybe at this time there was AOL and CompuServe where you could like chat to people, but it was still pretty new. So anyways, I reach out my hand to for your friendship. You do not understand because you cannot see my face, but I am not trying to hurt. That's it. I'm not trying to hurt. Here's a funny one. Here I sit, all broken-hearted, try to shit. Oh well. Who cares about bad words? Here I sit, all broken-hearted, tried to shit, but only farted. Then one day I took a chance, tried to fart, but shit my pants. Once love was my aim, now I think it's a crappy game. Okay? Nice. That's like a metaphor, you know, crapping your pants is falling in love, and it all ended in tears. Here's a fun thing. So when I was in high school, I was a newscaster for the little high school news show. It was called KGEP, Geyserville Ed Park. So Geyserville Ed Park News. And I guess we wrote a script. And it starts with a view of kids at work at lockers with music. And then it fade into the anchors. Starts with, and I say, welcome to first KGP high middle school, the middle school. The middle schoolers are all a bunch of stoners. Welcome to first KGEP high middle school broadcast. For those who don't know, I'm me. And then the other one says, hi, I'm Link. We have a great show for the day. And then I say, let's go to K and N with the sports. And then it goes there. And then comes back, well, that was great. And the thing is we recorded like all of them and they set them up. So, well, that was great. We hadn't really gone there. Now let's go to J and R with entertainment. And then it's like, blah, blah, blah. Now let's go to N with the weather. Blah, blah, blah. And it'd probably go to these people, like we'd film them. We'd go to like these different locations and they'd be talking about the weather or whatever. And, like, I think the guy that did the weather was just, like, standing in the rain and be like, it's raining. You know? Like, that was it. It was nothing, like, it was not a real weather report with, like, clouds and, like, you put a thing there. He was just like, it's raining. Because we were funny. Or we thought we were. Blah, blah, blah. Person on the street. No, now to person on the street. Blah, blah, blah. Which is, like, they probably just interviewed somebody, like, walking down the hall. Like, hey, answer this question. Blah, blah, blah. That's our show for today. Have a nice day. Over. Okay. I loved it. It was like the one thing I could do. We didn't have a lot of drama and I needed to put myself out there. So that was like the one thing I had. A senior year I was in a play. By default, an actor dropped out of Beverly Hillbillies, and my teacher came to me and he said, will you be in this play? Somebody dropped out and this is the part. And I had like 2 lines and it was fine. And then I think somebody was off stage, like, feeding us our lines. And my friend that was a junior that year, RH, was the granny, and she was amazing. Step, step, thud, thud, thump, thump, my feet clad in their obstacles called shoes. That's right. I don't like shoes. I never have. I like walking barefoot. Beat against the cement. My socks are all ruined because I just go sometimes with socks forgetting to put shoes on because I'm like, I don't want shoes on. I look and they get all wet and then they get all cold and then I'm like, why didn't I just put shoes on or take my socks off if I wasn't going to wear shoes? I look all around me, my mind free of judgment. Oh wait, obstacles called shoes beat against the cement. I look all around me, my mind free of judgment, having forgave those who hurt me. Really? Did I? Okay, maybe. Past the crystal car wash with men in red shirts bustling about like ants from object to object, searching for the one that might bring the goods. Car washers? Like, I know where this was. I don't think it is in existence anymore. We used to drive by and it's down in Santa Rosa and like right next to the freeway and they'd just be like running around with the red shirts. The kids lay together closely with their blue, green, or red tents set up on the newly cut grass. What? Oh, I'm probably just like walking around Santa Rosa or driving around and like detailing what I see. Could it be a Boy Scouts camping excursion? That reminds me of how Adolf Hitler set up a camp. What? Where young boys go learn about the evils of other races and superiority of the Germans. Okay, so now I'm comparing the Boy Scouts of America to Nazi youth. Okay, that's fine. I wonder how the people feel about sleeping by the highway. Oh, the little boys. It's not much of a roughing it experience, true, but I suppose one can pretend these days. One can pretend these days. Maybe they're not camping. Maybe it'll be a huge outdoor concert, which will be the next Woodstock, Boy Scouts of America, Woodstock, and people will come from all over. There will be access through the internet. Ooh, there's this new thing called the internet to tell what is happening minute by minute, view by view. What? Like, because the internet was not this fancy then. So I was like projecting into the future. And then I say, isn't technology great? Today we have cars passing by with passengers not stopping to stay a while, but hurrying to their destination, wasting away the time, which brings us to our final destiny. Ooh, that's kind of sad and yet poetic and philosophic at the same time. The cars pollute the air, growing heavier and hotter, harder to breathe or to live. I want you. Ooh, now we're in a different place now. We're going a whole different way. I want you now. Come on, the light is green. Ooh, who cares what they say? Who is saying anything? I'm just laying down. Come on. The light is green. Legs open. Her dad, my dad, his dad are all watching protectively, lovingly, yet shelteringly. Yeah, go away. Hiding their insecurities in the developing of their children. Aw. They're like, oh, I'm so insecure. Interesting. That's interesting. Now the thumping ceases as I trot softly across the grass. Here we go again. Male creatures stop and stare with gaping mouths. Well, what did I expect when I was inviting them in with green lights? Just kidding. Male creatures. Not male men, but male creatures. M-A-L-E. And I'm walking along and they gaping mouths. I just picture myself walking and there's all these guys all along the path that are some whistle trying to impress their fellow men. I walk on in disgust, yet try to hide myself from shame. Oh, that is so sad. That is sad that women have to do that at such a young age. I mean, I was a teenager, and these are older men that were just hey, I'm 16. Gross. They were in their 20s, 30s, and they're looking at this little 16-year-old girl walking by. And I'm covering myself, feeling embarrassed, I can't just walk down the street without being whistled at. Come on. Why? Why do we have to... Hairs go up in the back of your head every time you go out. Put the keys between your fingers to make sure if you're gonna get attacked, you're just rah, I got a key. Or even buy whatever spray. I don't know, just all that shit. We shouldn't have to do that. It's so annoying. We shouldn't have to fear rape every time we walk down the street. Okay. I walk on in disgust, yet try to hide myself from shame. And they should be ashamed, not me. They should be ashamed of how they are. What do they expect me to be like? Oh my God, I didn't know you cared. Oh my God, it's love at first sight. Deep down, I'm flattered. Okay. I mean, this is what society says women should do. This is how they should be treated. You know? In the 90s specifically. Deep down, I'm flattered. But then again, I mean, maybe it is flattering for somebody to say, hey, you're cute. It is flattering. We should own that. I'll own that. Deep down, I'm flattered that they shriek. They shriek like natives of the jungle. Oh, how wretched that is. I apologize for my 15, 16-year-old self for that racist thought. But I was sheltered. I didn't know much. But that is not correct. I am ashamed with myself, and my face is hot with embarrassment. They should be ashamed of how they're acting. I ignore the stupefied, dazed creatures and move past like a swift racehorse. Where am I going? What am I doing? But as I end this long patch of greenness, I'm forced to halt. My feet planted deep with the ground and toes feeling the dirt between them by an unknown presence that pulls at my emotions, clouding my hair, my clear thinking, and total awareness. Filled with uncertainty and with a pang of remorse, I turn and look upon the creature of grand beauty. Okay, who is this person? Is this a person, a boy, a teenage boy? He's a person of grand beauty. My cheeks feel hot, as if from fever, and my stomach whirls itself around. I am nervous. A simple smile slowly exceeds across my face. An exhilaration, happiness vibrates throughout my body, stinging ecstasy by looking into his eyes. Beautiful smile, he remarks, dumbfounded at the gentle tone of his speech. Oh, is this some random guy that whistled me? And I'm like, oh, hi. I am wide-eyed with awe. How is it that I have come here? It is not I who should be here. I could not in the least be worthy of such a creature from possibly a place so near utopia. What? What? I do deserve it. Whatever. How is it that I find myself here? How did I venture upon the path to end here, speechless and tainted with love? He gazes at me, taking in my form, requesting my reply with his eyes. Thoughts race through my mind of how I can put into words what I feel. Oh my God. You're just horny. I love you. I really do. What more can I say? Come to me. Stay with me. Together we shall be one. Sex does not equate love. You just met the guy. I mean, infatuation can be a sort of love. It's the beginning of. It can be. I think so. There's all the different facets of love, but still. I think he understands. We haven't said a word to each other. Except he told me I had a beautiful smile. I smile and open my lips and mouthing, thank you. He extends his arm towards me, signaling to grasp his hand and follow him on his journeys. Who the heck is this guy? And I'm just gonna okay. Am I crazy? Yes. I slowly reach my I added that. Yes, I slowly reach my small hand up to his small, um, grasp on, slowly holding the soft fingers with clipped nails to the rough, warm hand. I mean, that's a good description. That's a man's hand. It would be insane not to hold his hand and follow down the road. It would not. It would be insane for sure. Tightly, he squeezes my hand affectionately. Those men that you were whistling at you and you were like, don't do this. Cautiously, I follow his body up to his blue tinted eyes. Blue tinted eyes? Like, what, did he, like, dye them? To my eyes. Where I could find the entrance to his heart. Oh, that's sweet. The eyes are the windows of the soul. Blah, blah, blah. He pulls me close. In his warm embrace, we dance in the pale moonlight, my dress glowing with the same color of the moonlight. The breeze pulling my hair behind, our eyes sparkling with emotion, moving slowly with the music of our hearts, pounding against our chests. Something is about to happen. He kisses me passionately. What am I to do? I fell in love once before. Shall I do it again, or shall I run for cover? I am afraid of pain. That's where I end up. Next week, we'll come back with a letter to my beloved. Do you think that this guy that I ran into was the guy from the story with the rollerblades, or was he just a new person, or is this a completely different story? I don't know. I think it's kind of strange. Let me know what you think at all, and I will see you next week. Bye.